An estimated 13.5 million people in the world take opioids.
There are many different areas that are affected in the lives of those who are struggling with heroin use. One of the major areas is their families. It is those who are closest to them that are hurt the most. And so often, because of their use, they literally are abusing their families because they're not present, they're not there. And so as the family realizes what's going on, it also affects them emotionally. It also detaches them. And so one of the things that the family also has to deal with, because even though the person may be dealing with the use, but guess what? Those children, the mother, the grandmother, family, friends, they have to deal with the use as well. And so take a look at these testimonies and see how it affects families as heroin is being used in the lives of those who are struggling.
How did active addiction affect my relationship with my family? It tore my life apart, made me do a lot of things and go against a lot of my morals and values that growing up you'd never think you'd cross into those lines, and you would like to separate yourself saying, oh, I would never do that. But when you're in the grips of the disease, you end up going to bottoms and things you've never done before.
My mom, I stress her out all the time. She had to have a double heart bypass. Her chest is always hurting, and I'm sure it's because of me.
It reflected my relationship really bad. My family loved me unconditionally, but due to heroin use, at a crucial time in my life, I was incarcerated for tickets in the county jail, and my father passed. And my family, the devil sunk in, and he said, your family don't love you, you wasn't there for them. And I took that and ran with it, and it cost me. It cost me a lot.
My family didn't trust me. They always they just didn't trust me. It was just a distrust there. And they was always, didn't want me around because I was always high.
Okay, and me, of course, I'm a certified chef, retired, but I also was a dope dealer. So I sold crack and to support my heroin addiction.
I had a relationship when I was drinking and smoking weed, but when it came to losing everything and just I isolate myself to the point where it took a minute for me when I started getting better for them they were isolating themselves from me, you know what I mean?
It almost destroyed it in many regards. Different members wouldn't associate with me. There was times where different members and I would get into physical fist fights. There was lack of trust and just a whole mess of issues that went on for 10 solid years.
It affected my job it got me fired from a couple jobs. And even if I really liked the job a lot and I kept going and doing everything I needed to do, the people, I thought they couldn't tell, but the people could obviously tell, you're losing weight, you're always late to work, you're always in a bad mood, your lunch breaks go from a half an hour to an hour and 15 minutes every time you go to lunch on payday, and you come back and you look like a totally different person because you're high. So, yeah, it's affected a lot of job opportunities for me, better places I could be in my life. I'm a musician, so it's affected a lot of opportunities in the music industry as far as playing music and making bad decisions based on what I wanted at that point instead of setting long-term goals, because drugs controlled my life.
Yes, I did. I would bounce around from job to job every 6 or 7 months because of just getting bored and wanting to constantly be home getting high and not show up, and then just leave the job and move on to the next one a couple weeks later and do that process for 5 or 6 months and then bounce around to another job for another couple months and keep that cycle going.
Of course, I went through many treatment facilities because other people wanted me to quit. I had no problem using heroin because I could afford it, and I liked it, and I didn't have a problem with it. It was society had a problem with it. I was a functional addict. Yes, I did. Out of the years that I did use, I don't remember becoming what they call bold or sick from lack thereof. I always kept money, or if I didn't have money, I had a woman that had money.
It affected my job. My work performance was, I had a lot of jobs. I lost a lot of jobs because of the use of heroin.
I lost numerous of jobs, you know, at least 7 or 8 jobs I lost due to using heroin. So I'm glad I'm somewhere in the treatment program helping me today.
An estimated 4.8 million people in the United States have used heroin.